Hey, brand builder, Rory Vaden here. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this interview. As always, it's our honor to provide it to you for free. And wanted to let you know there's no big sales pitch or anything coming at the end. However, if you are someone who is looking to build and monetize your personal brand, we would love to talk to you and get to know you a little bit and hear about some of your dreams and visions and share with you a little bit about what we're up to see if we might be a fit. So if you're interested in a free strategy call with someone from our team, we would love to hear from you. You can do that at brandbuildersgroup.com/podcall, brandbuildersgroup.com/podcall. We hope to talk to you soon.
And we're back. It's the Influential Personal Brand Podcast Recap Edition with Rory and AJ Vaden, which you don't always get both of us, but AJ is here. We're talking about Hanson Cheng's interview, which we classify as in the 8-figure entrepreneur part of our curriculum, and looking about how do you hire great contractors and scale a company. AJ's going to give you her 3 top takeaways, and I will give you mine. Go for it, babe. You go first.
I think my whole takeaway from this interview with Hanson is all about delegation, outsourcing, automation, which very much fits in the line with anyone who is growing and scaling a business. At some point, you can't do everything by yourself. And if you can't afford to hire lots and lots of expensive full-time employees, what are the other ways to grow and scale without doing that? So I think it's a very innovative look at how to find great talent around the world at an affordable price, and also automation. So I would just preface it with that. And if it's okay with you, Rory, I may just share my top 3 really quickly in order, and then let you share your top 3 instead of going back and forth, because they're all really super connected to this concept of outsourcing, automation, and delegation. So
all right, let's do it.
The first thing I'm just going to touch on, because Rory mentions this in the interview, if you have time to go listen to it, but it's literally for a year I have been telling him about this software platform that I discovered and I've been using. And I don't know if anyone who is listening or watching watches Modern Family, but it's my favorite TV show. I just think it's so clever and so well written, and I'll try not to go on a tangent on Modern Family. But there's one particular episode where the 2 main characters, Claire and Phil Dunphy, have this like episode long argument about Claire recommending a wedge salad to Phil forever. And I feel like this is my wedge salad moment, because I have been talking about conversion.ai for almost the better part of a year. As soon as it came out, like I was even in the beta group, and Rory's like, whatever, this other thing. And then here we come along, Hanson Cheng was talking about conversion.ai, and he goes, AJ, you're not going to believe this thing that I heard about today. I think you've mentioned it before. And I was like, mentioned it? I was in the beta group. I'm a subscriptions, like I'm in the membership. What are you talking about? So with that, conversion.ai, and to me, it's like I am using this all the time. It's AI copy. And it truly is like, I can literally go to this site, and it's for email copy, ad headlines, YouTube headlines, blog post ideas, email copy. I'm probably missing like 14 other things, but I literally keep it open in my browser at all times, like literally. And so it's one of those great automation tools where it's like, if you don't need a full copy editor, but you need someone with light copy editing skills, right? You should pay $29 a month and get conversion.ai. It's going to help you populate amazing subject titles and give you lots of options. And literally I just type in, this is my website, this is the tone of the email, and here's a 1-sentence description of what it is. And then it'll give me like 5 or 6 different options. So here's the one tip I would give you on this as a personal user of this, is it works much, much, much better if you are a company that has a company website, because it is literally pulling your company website. It's pulling data, pulling words from the internet, and then repopulating them here in email copy, blog post copy. But I can literally, you're not a great writer or a creative writer, you can copy and paste your entire email, put it in there, and it will rewrite it for you in a more marketing sales language world. So yeah, I highly recommend it.
And you changed the format thinking I would sit silent the whole time so you could just beam me with not listening to your advice and just roll through. I sit defenseless.
It really is a great tool. So I highly recommend. I'm going to need to include.
And
my
you have been
affiliate
talking
link in
about
this.
it.
I'm going to include my affiliate link because I really do recommend it. I should be one of their spokespeople.
And you have been talking about it. And yes, I
actually use it and it works really well. Yeah. So hi, advocate. The second thing though, was just this concept of, and he talks about this at the very end of, the best way to get great media and great PR is to have a really great relationship marketing game, right? It's just about building relationships. It's I'll do one for you. Hopefully you'll do one for me. It's not that I'm going to do one for you in expectation, but it's like, nope, I'm going to be just like putting in all my deposits into this relationship banking account, hoping that one day you'll want to return the favor because of how much value I'm giving you. But the successful media and PR game is about relationship building and about
surprise.
I know. It's a good old fashioned, like, let me introduce myself. Let me connect a friend with a friend. Let me help you out. It's relationship building. So it wasn't like, aha, but it was a great reminder of like, oh yeah, in the world of outsourcing and delegating and automation, there are some things that still just require relationships. And I really appreciate that because I think that it's easy to get lost in the virtual world and lose human touch. And this is a callback to, and hey, don't forget when and where human connection is really valuable and important. And in the media and PR game, it is. That was my second one. And then my third one is I really liked the really simple tips that he gave in what I would say fishing for great talent on LinkedIn. And learning how to go to the people who are one step ahead of you in the market. So who is I could call it a competitor. I don't really believe in competitors. I just believe there are other people who do what you do in a similar way because I don't think anyone does it the exact same way. So I just think the term competitor is old school and not really existent in a world of plenty versus a world of scarcity. So I'm not going to say competitors. I'm going to say looking at people who are just one step ahead of where you want to be, and then looking at who they've given recommendations to on LinkedIn in order to see who have they been using as they've been stepping up the staircase to success. And that would be a great way for you to see who are very similar people in your field, in your industry, in your area. Who have they been using? And these are people that you admire. And then looking at their recommendations and going, that's who they used for web design or for copywriting or for paid media campaigns. And that's how you find your talent pool. Super simple, easy to do. You could literally listen to this and then go and execute. And those are the types of tips that I love. So those are my three.
Yeah, I love it. But like I could dovetail off of all three of those very closely. I think, if I had to categorize this, the biggest part of this whole conversation, it was a phrase that he used, labor arbitrage.
Yeah,
labor arbitrage. It's a cool term, right? It's like, how do you get contractors and AI and different, techniques and strategies to get the help and support you need? And it's arbitrage. You're constantly trying to just like do it cheaper and faster and more, just more efficiently. And I think that kind of, even that concept puts you in the right mindset of being a successful entrepreneur. Like, how can I solve problems? How can I find another way? How can I find a faster way? How can I find a cheaper way? And so labor arbitrage, I think, carries over to the necessary entrepreneurial paradigm you have to have, which is find another way. Find a way to do it. Find a way to get it done. There's always a way. And some of the things he was talking about, like using Russian developers in this whole world of like, there's so much great talent in Russia that is like, and that's not even on my radar. I'd never even heard that before. And conversion.ai, which I definitely heard about from my wife first and was sold on before this conversation with Hanson, but only edified by what she had said. And then, AJ mentioned relationships with media. And that was one of the things that I know. And specifically the thing that I wrote was, you build relationships by giving, not by asking. We can never hear that enough. Like, don't ask people for stuff. Give people things. You give value first, and then you get. Value goes first, and then money follows. So, figure out who has relationships with people you want to have relationships with, and ask yourself, how can I be adding value to these people, to this network? And then it shows up, and everyone has that flipped. And it's such a basic thing that you can never lose sight of. And then I had the exact same third tip, which was the LinkedIn recommendations thing. So simple. I mean, I'd never thought you hear about posting, AJ, right? Like you hear about posting a job description on LinkedIn, which we do. You hear about telling your network you've got a job available, but I've never heard go to someone else's profile, look at the recommendations that they've given, go look at those people because you recommend your vendors. That's who most of us recommend, is the vendors. It's like this treasure map right to all the key vendors, and just simple, pragmatic, tactical. I would bucket it all under this concept of labor arbitrage, finding a way, figuring it out. And that's who you should be. And that's who we try to be. And that's who you are. And hopefully that's who we can help you continue to become, right here every single week on the Influential Personal Brand Podcast. Keep coming back. We'll catch you next time. Adios.